see, with a BT, do you know what an Immelman is? If I can show you, I don't know how. You start out as if you're going in a loop. You go way down and you come up, and when you get to the peak, you roll it over this way and then go back down. You turn it over at the top.
I haven't done that yet. Maybe on my birthday this year I'll go up for some acrobatics.
I don't think they give acrobatics in civilian.
Well, you can go up for a fly along.
You can?
Oh yeah, yeah. They'll go up and they'll do some aerobatics with you.
Yeah. Ask for an Immelman.
A German aviator must have done it for the first time. That's where it comes from. And when I got to advanced, there were, when we were ready to get off the train, there was 2 coffins coming on the train. And there was 2 cadets that had just been killed. And they gave us a little talk right then and there. Said, you're not going to have to worry about washing out anymore. You get out of here with your wings or you kill yourself, either one. But, you know, that sounds harsh, but it was a relief to hear that, that you're not going to be washed out.
It was up to you not to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You made a good choice. And phooey on First Lieutenant Glazer.
Yeah. Well, why he washed 2 of us out, Chernikov and Schultz, he washed out, and Schmidt and Schlee made it. Well, we talked about it afterwards, after it happened. Well, he told each and every one of us the same story. You just sit there and I'll fly around. You just get accustomed to the area. You don't have to do anything. So you're sitting there, da-da-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden you're inverted. And he says over the phone, you got it. Well, Schultz and I both, when we're upside down, we completed the roll and we're right side up, but
Schmidt and you.
yeah, Schmidt. What did I say, Schultz? Yeah. Schmidt and I did it the right thing with the other 2, Chernikov and Schultz. When they're rolled over, they split us out, which is bad.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Because it takes up so much altitude,
yeah.
Right, to right the... Yeah, I'd go along with that. I'd want to get right as soon as possible, not to try and glide out of it.
Beautiful screen.
Beautiful what?
Screen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's off camera, but we've got it on another
Okay.
another film.
Well, I'll tell you something else, and you'll wonder why you're here. Well, we planned on Timmy. And when I came back from overseas, we had Barbie, and I don't know how old the girls were when my mother said, 2 is enough. We didn't listen.
That's good.
See, they both came from big families, and I guess we're too big a family, and they were not very wealthy people, and they're scrounging for food and clothing. So she figured that's all that we should have too, but we never set a goal or amount of children we should have. Yeah, that was flying around. Hey, might be Santa Claus.
We're collecting the $5 for the address numbers being painted.
Oh, okay.
Hi there.
We go.
Oh, here.
Just like you.
They're painting the numbers. All right. A little change of scenery.
You want to get Dad's jacket out there?
I'll get him a blanket. We'll make him a papoose. Oh, great Father. Oh.
Boy, those are a lot of crochet stitches.
Yeah. There.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing's nice and warm.
And Laylee's working on one for Chandra?
Oh, I didn't know.
Did Laylee make this?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's huge. Could be a bedspread.
Well, Barb made one too that is so warm.
Mm-hmm. It's about time to get it out when we get home.
So what other stories do you want to talk about?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Where do I begin? Oh, the first date is always a good story. Asking Mom out and with no money, that was good. No, what was it, $10, but not the other 10.
Yeah. It was $10 a piece instead of $10 for a couple. Either I misunderstood or I was misled, but it was embarrassing for me. Now you tell from your side what you saw.
What I saw?
Yeah, you said you saw all the fellas getting together and talking, and you didn't know what was wrong.
No, I didn't find out till, I don't know, a long time later, I think. You must have been embarrassed.
Well, you know, it's a big night, New Year's Eve, and the girl you want, and you don't have enough money to pay for everything. And when my dad handed me $10 and said, "Have a good time," I thought I had the world by the tail.
Well, it all worked out. It was the beginning of the beginning.
Yes, it was.
Been going on for 56 years almost.
That's right, we only have about a month and a half to go, don't we?
Not long at all.
No. And a couple down the street have anniversary the same day, same year, so we go out to dinner with them.
Oh, great.
They were married in San Diego. He was in the Navy. So it's a small world.
Do either of you ever recall any major disagreements that you've had along the way?
You mean our first argument?
I don't know of any arguments, so it's all news to me.
Let's see. It was before he went into the service, and we were in a furnished apartment. I made him eggs in the morning, and they weren't soft.
Somehow I knew you were going to bring that one.
You just as soon forget it.
Yeah.
So off he went to work.
Oh, that was it?
That was it. And what I should have said was, well, if you want eggs after this, you just have to make them yourself.
You're just full of the shit what I should have said.
Takes takes me a while to get my thoughts regulated. Maybe it's just as well. A lot of times I don't say anything.
Best is dropped.
Maybe that's what's made it last for.
I'm sure it's a combination on both sides.
Right. Should have said, should have done, but didn't. No, we've been pretty agreeable. Right?
Right.
Actually, I think I can only remember one where I knew you were both taking sides, and it was had to do with me taking out the trash at some point. Do either of you remember that?
No.
Yeah. Dad said something, instead of watching Gilligan's Island, you should have the trash outside, or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And Mom said, no, just leave him alone, he'll get it out. No, he's watching Gilligan's Island, he should get the trash out.
No, I don't remember that at all. Gilligan's Island, Jesus, that's the way it comes.
You were watching that the other day.
Yeah.
That one was a little silly. I didn't care for that one.
I'm just glad you could, you felt healthy enough to come out here. You know, I've been waiting a long time for this to happen.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The last time was on a New Year's. That's been...
That was the New Year's before your stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, and I knew you weren't going to be, you know, traveling a lot, you know, especially this distance. But I was really looking forward to it last year. And
Well, yeah, that one got all fouled up, and what happened? Something else happened to me.
Well, you just weren't feeling well enough to travel.
yeah, and your hip was giving you problems last year.
Gee, that's something that hasn't been bothering me for a long time. I hadn't even thought till then.
Yeah.
Just mention it.
Good.
That's one good thing happened.
We don't bring it up. And hope it doesn't return.
The surgery took care of that, right?
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, the Doppler that the doctor did on the other day, circulation is
Well, he
good.
didn't do a Doppler. He was just feeling both my...
He put that little machine on you with some
Did he?
Vaseline.
Yeah, I guess I remember.
Did on both legs.
Yeah, didn't he say something? Your left one seems even better than your right one.
Yeah.
Probably is. It's as good as new now.
Yeah.
That's the other one you got to watch out for.
Some sort of mess in there. 'Cause I could see when they were making these tests on me, I could see the x-rays. They had a great big screen all around the room, and then the one was all cloudy, and others you could just see through. And I guess that cloudy one was this part here. But I had signed something by the radiologist that he said, now, if we find that we can just push this thing through, is that okay with you? Then you won't have to be operated on. Well, when you think about it, it's not a good deal. I said, well, can this thing backfire or go back into my heart? He said, no. So I signed the release. But when it came down to it, he couldn't. It was so thick he couldn't push it through.
That's not good.
No, surgeon said he took out a a piece, 2 inches solid out of that artery. Cleaned it out and sewed it up.
See, that's been bothering me off and on probably for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm figuring all the time, this is going to go away. And what was happening, the main artery was blocked, so other little veins were taking over the work for a short time, and I wouldn't get the pain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I sure was worried that I was going to be on a wheelchair or some wheel cart, electric cart the rest of my life.
Well, when we get home, you're going to be cooking and baking and going for the mail and...
Did I make too many promises here?
and...
Yeah.
You'll think of something.
See, over a period of 6 weeks, one here and one there adds up over a period of time, so.
But I remember everyone.
You accused me of having such a good memory.
Depends on what you want to remember. I remember you.
Could write a song, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I already did. And it stops at the war year, so.
Say it's 4:15. Should we be going?
Oh, yeah, as soon as I say it's time to go.
All right.
About an hour and a half we'll be going.
Hour and a half?
Yep.
It's 5:45.
5:45.
Are we going to mail this stuff?
I'm
No.
going to take care of it.
Oh, okay.
Not today.
That eases my mind. You know how much it cost about?
No, they have to weigh it.
Gotta leave some money for Dan.
Could I? Well, I wonder if they'd accept a check from out of state.
Don't worry about it. It will get handled.
I know, but I want to pay for it.
Yeah, well, why don't you do it this way? Have you got enough money now to pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Pay for it. Let us know how much it was, but we want to pay. We'll write it. If we write a check to you, then that'll do it.
Okay. No problem.
I looked at the bills coming out. One was 17, 20, 40. I will leave you some money.
Okay. You
What?
do.
I say we'll leave him some money.
You
All
do
right.
that.
Now, what I've got a lot of ones. That's for wheeling me
Won't do
through.
it.
I gotta hang on to those.
All right.
I got 2 5 spots and two $20
Traveler's checks.
traveler's checks. So that's where I'm at now.
Oh, we could use, did you cash the traveler's check that he gave you before?
I think Edna deposited it, yeah. Yeah, because he didn't put a name in it, so I gave it to Edna,
Yeah.
because she was making a deposit a week or so ago. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that'd be the best way because she's known in the bank and there's no problem. People of the same name. Okay.
Yeah, so you got your work cut out for you when you get home, huh?
Yeah.
First, the mail.
Oh boy, that's going to be. Just going through one day's mail is a son of a gun.
Take us the rest of the week to get that out of the way, I think.
Boy, and I got to get that car down and get it. Some things done to it.
Well, that's
The next week.
Yeah.
next week. That's when all the doctor's appointments start and blood
Oh,
tests to
yeah.
be taken.
not taken anything from my PSA outside of an Indian remedy and what's the other one with the grapefruit? That's not Indian, but that's...
Pectin. Pectin.
Those are the only two things I'm doing that's different. Because taking the anti-cancer pills and even doubling up, my PSA was going sky high.
Mm-hmm. Well, get off that stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to get that thing off my back.
Well, with all this work you're going to be doing at home, reminds you of being in the catering business again.
He'd love it. Or he'd like to open a bagel shop. How about Spud Nuts? That's a franchise. No. The hours are terrible.
The hours. And the kind of help you'd get nowadays, you'd go crazy.
Yeah, I've said that a number of times. I hate to be in business, but the way people don't care what they do anymore.
Yeah.
Even the owners don't care. They
Yeah.
do anything. They don't pay attention to their customers.
Well, that's where your business would be different.
Yeah. Too much work at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a ways to go before I can put in time like that.
What you need to find out is how can you bake a loaf of bread that stays fresh for the 2 days it takes to mail it here.
Oh, can you buy that retardant? Forget what it is they put in.
Well, I was thinking more like sealing it rather than adding anything to it.
Well, I've sent bread here before, and it was okay.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was great.
The
Okay,
trouble is, the real
hinting.
taste out of bread is the same day that it's made, as close to it as it comes taken from the oven as
Oh.
possible. That's when it's at its peak.
Well, I can get past that if you can.
Okay.
Because that loaf of bread you made yesterday, which you were somewhat disappointed in for some reason, I was not, so...
Because he didn't have the caramel coloring.
Ah.
Started out.
Well, what I did for Melina too, I didn't put salt in that bread, and they thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and to me this is terrible.
Did you taste it? I mean, could you taste it?
No,
that it
I
wasn't?
didn't eat much of it. But we had a big steak for dinner, and then though the Getzys were both eating bread, Mom and I were full.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even eat all our steak.
No, but you did taste the bread, right?
Yeah.
Did it taste any different?
Yes, it doesn't have. It didn't have that
Salty
real good
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like salt in my bread. Oh, there's something in the paper that I copied, and it's a salt substitute, and all it is different herbs.
Mm-hmm.
It's in today's paper.
I've got like the Mrs. Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
Same thing.
I've never tried them, but
Mr. Dash, Mrs. Dash.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, son,
Yeah.
I must tell you
What?
how much we love you
Well, thank
and how proud we are of all of your talent.
all of my unknown talent.
Oh, we know.
We know, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
within
gonna
the
bust
family.
out all over someday.
Uh,
They'll come out in a boom.
Well, that's one of the projects for next year is to start spending some time getting it into people's hands, so
good.
we'll see what happens.
That's what we need is a banner year.
Yeah. Absolutely. thank you very much, and obviously I owe it all to you two to make it possible. So,
Oh, yeah.
and we're just talking about Dad's, you know, any Christmas gifts that he remembers, and of course, the two most important ones that I ever had were both organs that came at Christmas. So.
Well,
When I bought that organ,
well
I
worth
think it was $1,000 or $1,100,
Yeah.
something like that. And I just put about all of our money into refreshment time. We just started in the business. I didn't even get my first P&L statement. So I charged it, and I charged it, but wasn't on time with them. Paid it off in time. And
So that was the
last-
first one, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
And then Wurlitzer that we bought, I think we paid cash for that one.
That was a con.
Con, yeah.
Yeah.
the first one was a con?
Now, first one was a Baldwin, Orgasonic. And then the second one was the Con Theater Console.
That's the one that's curved?
Yeah, yeah, the lights.
Did you ever see that picture we had? It was one Christmas when we were still living on Basswood, before we moved out to Trotwood. We had a little toy piano for you.
Yeah.
And boy, you're sitting there, big smile on your face.
Prophetic.
Yeah, the things to come. Yeah.
What a chunk you were.
Who would have thought, you know?
All that good soy milk.
Yeah, I guess. Looked like a little box with legs. And white hair.
Look bald.
Yeah.
That's strange. My hair was the same way. I had a towhead till I was about probably 7 to 10, and then my hair started turning brown, and I started losing my curls. It was straight, and then later on, the curl or the waves came back in high school, and then when I went to Westland, I think my hair started turning black. I don't know what color it is now for sure.
Salt and pepper,
I'll take it whatever color it is.
just so it's thick. Well, the family is all spread apart,
Yeah.
but hardly different from any other family anymore. So, we'll have to keep in touch more often now. I used to write once a week, but
It's much easier calling once a week.
yeah, right. So, don't we alternate Saturdays? What time do you prefer, Dan? Anytime
Hard
after?
to tell. I mean, it's some weekends we plan on, you know, getting up early on a Saturday, or maybe we had an exhaustive, you know, week, and it's just like, no, nothing is planned for Saturday, but no, just, you know, play it by ear. You know, if you feel like calling, call. I'd say to be safe, probably the earliest be noon your time.
Okay.
And, yeah.
I know when we call about 11 o'clock, and hello. And I can hear Dan, oh, that must be my parents. Well, you know that Dad sleeps until about 9
Yeah.
anymore, or at least here.
Yeah, I hadn't lost any sleep.
And sometimes he's in bed as early as 7, but I try to discourage that. But at least we have those adjustable beds, and he can adjust it up so he doesn't get reflux.
Did you ever see that Irish sweater that Mom wears?
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you some sort of an answer when we get along so well, too. It's an Irishman's what?
Lament?
No.
No. Oh, shoot, I just put it away, and I read it again.
They can tell a person,
Diplomacy, Irish
yeah,
diplomacy.
can tell a person to go to hell, and he's looking forward to the trip. All right.
I have a lot of Irish diplomacy. It's been so warm the last couple of years, I haven't even been able to wear sweatshirts. That one's nice and green. I can wear it this time of year.
It gets nice and cool at night here, that's for sure. Yeah, we usually don't keep the house this warm, usually around 68 to 70, but with Dad's been feeling cool in the evening, so it's been 72, I think we set it at. But yeah, we usually go around in sweatshirts and sweats and